Underground, our heroes, the renegades of Punk, are looking beyond. We have found some kind of grotto where the Naga have waited for us. They had strange altars. And see, they have a talk of intellect as well. Crazy great swords. A fire Naga sword. And we have retrieved the rod of Guildmaster Nero. Is that this thing? Let's see. The rod of the deep hunter. This unassuming length of driftwood hums with power, and waves of energy seem to break against its surface with the relentless pressure of the tides. The copper is well preserved despite its age, and it pulls with an invisible force like the tug of a dowsing rod. Very impressive.
Give me a real challenge.
So we've got this now. We should go deeper. Is that what you say? What is this though? The tunnel descends sharply into the murky waters. There's no telling just how far into the mountain it goes. Alright, so we've got the rod. Let's go to the door and open the door. Run over. Oh. What happened? Uncover the threat to the guild. I've retrieved the rod of the deep hunter. According to Myru, I can open the stone door near the entrance to the sanctum and finally deal with whatever is behind the tremors and the attack on the guild. The full text of Periki's devotion is as follows. Pitied is Ngati, Lady of Lament. As the pearl orb of the heavens crosses her view, her eyes well with tears as constant as rain, but the moon's skyward journey continues apace. The lover's affection as ephemeral as fingers touching. The tremors are increasing in strength. If something is about to escape the guild ruins, as Myru believed, it's going to happen soon. No, we're gonna stop it, of course. Gotta stop it. Approach the door, the carved stone flashes with ethereal light. You feel a faint salty breeze gusting from an unseen source. Touch the door with the rod of the deep hunter. The door reacts at once. A stone panel shifts aside to reveal a circular dial engraved with symbols. This would appear to be a locking mechanism requiring a precise combination. Study the symbols around the dial. So we have Ngati here. Oh, goodness. I think I need to note something down. Don't you? I get that feeling. I somehow get the feeling that's something I should be dealing with. So we have that fish that is Ngati. Probably. Then we have that's top. Then we have like two hands. That's to the right. To down under we have, I don't know what that is. Huh? I don't know. That's a strangely weird shape. And then we have, like, that could be like some seashell or a snail shell. Brushing aside a layer of dust reveals a circular dial of pictographs. Though you could not guess their relevance or relation to each other, you recognize the symbols themselves. Ah! But she doesn't. Where is she? Too far away. The first is a full moon. It's light beaming down on Eora. That's the full moon. The next is a Huana symbol of Ondra. Yeah. Classically depicted with the head of an anglerfish in her aspect as Ngati. Ondra and Gati. Yeah. The next is a pair of hands reaching out for each other, their fingertips just barely making contact. And the last is rain. Now it makes sense, right? Falling powerfully and inexorably. It's rain falling. We'll leave. Yeah, I want to... Come on, where would she be? Let's get a little bit closer in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in here. Let's do that again. Study the symbols again. Read the inscription. Oh. No. There was something else to it. Pitied is Ngati. So we have first Ngati. Is pitied. The pearl orb of the heavens crosses her view. That's the moon. That's number 2. Her eyes well with tears as constant as rain. That would be number 3, the rain. But the moon's skyward journey continues apace. The lover's affection as ephemeral as fingers touching. So we come back to the moon with number 4, and then we have the hands as number 5.
Watch and learn.
Good. Manipulate the dial. So we want to start with Ngati, right? Counterclockwise. We hear a grating mechanical clunk of stone tumblers settling into place behind the door. That was Ngati. Now we need the moon. Clockwise. The dial shows an engraving of the moon. Press the dial. You hear some grating. So we had the moon. Now let's go to the rain. Let's rotate the dial clockwise. We have the rain and pressing the dial. And now we need to get back to the moon. We'll just rotate counterclockwise, right? The moon shines, press the dial. And finally we need the 2 hands. Yeah, let's just move 2 times clockwise. And now press the dial with the hands. You hear clattering and whirring as the dial recedes into the door. There's a low rumble as the doorway opens inward, revealing a dark, narrow tunnel beyond. Travel through the passage. The air beyond the passage is humid, reeking of stagnant water, and something else, something old, which raises the hairs on the back of your neck. As you take your first step, an ear-splitting roar rises in volume and echoes down the passage, shaking loose the surrounding rock. Yeah, let's go. You navigate the dark, narrow tunnel, pressing your shoulders together to fit the passage. Ah, it's a dragon! Can we talk this through? Decide what to do with Skyo. As the massive upheaval of water settles, the air thickens with oppressive humidity. Takes a moment for your eyes to adjust before you can make sense of the shape that breached from the depths.
Have you come to deliver me from this prison of my own making?
You locked yourself in. The dragon flares his nostrils and glares at you. I mean, to deliver me from this prison. Let me get my bearings first. Who are you?
I am Eothas, guardian of the Isles.
He slaps his tail against the floor. I am Kevaver Forgedawn, captain of the Renegades of Junk.
I would see this vessel of yours someday, but we will return to that. You can only be here for one reason. You serve the Huana.
His eyes narrow into slits.
This prison is built on a foundation of their lies.
What are you talking about?
You stand in the sanctum of the Water Shapers. Those who make parlor tricks of Ngati's art. An art in decline. The Huana Covenant has failed. With each grain of sand surrendered to outsiders, Ngati draws her favor away from her chosen people.
What covenant is that?
One struck in a different time, when the gods showered devotion on Huana. The guild hides how their acolytes struggle. Their ancestral forms no longer respond as they once did. Soon, there will be no Water Shapers to remember them. When their mighty talent went into decline, I gave the Huana the strength to raise the very sea against our enemies. For my generosity, they bound me to this chamber by my soul. And now the Deadfire dies in my absence. The luminous Adra shrieks in agony, calling out for a guardian.
But really, that's what the... yeah. We actually heard that already. Your soul is stuck here. Let me take a look.
You are a watcher. Of all the kith who could have entered this chamber, how intriguing.
Submerging in the dragon's soul feels at first disorienting, like perusing the stacks of a vast library. The energy and vibrancy that should color his soul is grey and worn. From the shadows, a dark, formless thing reaches out to you in desperation. The walls around the stone floor drag the essence down and disperse its energy elsewhere, to the Water Shaper students of NEKETAKA. So he speaks the truth. As it touches you, the weight of the prison is like an anchor. You withdraw from the sensation feeling shaky and depleted. Wow. Okay. Poor being. I've looked into your soul, it's true.
Believe what you will. My duty to the archipelago is all that matters. Freedom comes like the tide, and the Deadfire heeds my call. I sense a rod among your belongings.
Eothas narrows his eyes and watches you carefully.
My gift to Periki. My covenant with the Huana. Another broken promise. It made the enchantments of this prison and can destroy them. It can set me free.
The dragon lashes its tail in eager, repetitive circles. I mean, we were not really good with the Water Shapers. Onikaza would have me killed if I set you free. Letting you go deprives the Water Shapers of a useful asset. Yeah, I know that is true. But we need everyone, so we would like to avoid bloodshed. What happens to your captors if I do as you ask?
The Huana have chartered their doom. I will not mourn their passing. Neither will I speed it along while they stand against the foreign tide.
Okay, so we won't intervene. Some questions about you first,
I
Dragon.
will tolerate your curiosity.
What if we excise the imprisoned portion of your soul from the rest? I don't know. You think of yourself as a guardian?
That is a duty as old as the islands themselves. In ages past, there were 3 guardians. They watched over the isles, the Adra, and lost to Kaizo.
What do you know of Ukaizo?
A city where Kith spoke to gods. The heart of an empire. I know only what I hear. Ukaizo was gone before my time. Even its myth is dust and ashes.
3 guardians, though.
Creatures of unparalleled age and power, bound, like me, to strengthen the Huana.
I mean, I like the Huana less and less. First, their society based on the opposite of freedom. Now they're imprisoning proud dragons, wild creatures.
If they still lived, no foreign ship would trespass on these islands. Ukaizo is lost beyond all memory. Better to forget that monument of hubris.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. So how did you get in here?
As outsiders threatened the Isles, the power of the Huana waned. Crafty Pariki sought me out to strike a deal. She used my soul as a crutch for her water shapers. In exchange, she vowed to protect the Adra.
Oh, water shapers don't protect Adra. They hold back the Rhotian armada.
Indeed. The Huana bite off more than they can chew. I came as an honored guest. The water shapers grew strong, and new conflicts replaced the old. When I resolved to go, my captors left me here, cheated and howling in the dark.
Aha. Yeah, I think we want to free him, but what if he excites the imprisoned portion of your soul from the rest?
No, my soul is not for the taking. Not by you, or any of the outsider spirit thieves.
Back to the negotiations then. Yeah, I think we want to release him. So I'd like to discuss the matter of your release.
Talk then.
How would I free you?
Pariki and her mages crafted this prison with the rod you carry.
He tips his head to the raised stones around the chamber.
The rod could destroy the wards as well.
Why is it so important?
It contains a fragment of my soul, gifted willingly to share of my strength. The Huana twisted it against me, just as they twist themselves.
Boiling frothy water drips from the edges of his jaws. Oh, I mean, he might try to eat us up, but allow me to inspect this prison. A low growl builds in the back of his throat.
Your inspection is irrelevant. I have seen enough of these walls for the both of us. The wards are the bars of my prison, and the rod you carry can bend them apart like stalks of wheat.
It might be safer to siphon power and let the walls collapse on their own. I won't bore you with the details.
If you think it prudent.
Eothas raises one of his scaly brows.
Time has weakened the wards enough that I can leave this cell without you. There will be a debt of pain that I have no wish to incur. Betray me and I will summon as many waves of Naga as it takes to shatter this prison.
The dragon unclenches his jaw and watches you in silence. So how do we do that now? We have to deactivate the wards, right? Somehow.
I got this. Yeah?
All of them. Let's do that together somehow.
See it done.
Raised wardstone stands out from the watery floor of the dragon's prison. The runes engraved along its surface glow with pale light. Inspect it. Enchantments coursing through the stonework keep the dragon tethered to this spot and siphon energy from his soul. The spells of imprisonment look more recent. More recent? The siphoning enchantment merely sips at the dragon's essence and disperses it elsewhere. You think it could be used to store the essence enough to last decades or longer if used responsibly. You can tell nothing else about the enchantments. The ward flashes, causing the Rod of the Deep Hunter to tremble in your pack, as if the two share some arcane affinity to each other. Empower the guild. Will disable the enchantments. The runes crackle as their power dissipates. I mean, it's possibly lies. There's that, but our previous deal with Naga says it wouldn't, maybe. The runes crackle as their power dissipates. In seconds their light is extinguished, and the shapes of each arcane sigil lose definition until they fade into total obscurity.
I can feel the weight of this pit diminishing around me. Do not stop now.
Patience, I'm getting to it.
Next ward, make haste.
I'll take care of this.
I'll disable the enchantments. The rune crackles again. In seconds their light is extinguished and the shapes of each arcane sigil lose definition until they fade into total obscurity. Now, Mr. Dragon, we'll see if you speak the truth or not.
I'll handle this.
Disable the enchantments. The runes crackle as their power dissipates. In seconds their light is extinguished and the shapes of each arcane sigil lose definition until they fade into total obscurity. Eothas blinks down at you and rolls his shoulder, as if for the first time. And we'll wait until we're hidden again. Just like that.
The burden of this prison is lifted. I will return to the beloved Atra.
Eothas flexes his claws and lets out an exultant bellow. You consider showing mercy against those who wronged you.
Mercy. Only for those who showed mercy to me. The rest.
Splits his jaws into a lethal grin.
Should your hopes darken on the high seas, you will feel a welcome chill as my shadow passes over your deck. Depend on it.
Roaring with triumph, Eothas aims his body at the rocky ceiling and takes off. Fair enough. Eothas beats his wings, lifting his massive form above the ground of his watery prison. He stretches open his jaws and roars, the ensuing blast blowing out the top of his prison, exposing it to the sky above. For the first time in untold years, natural light floods the interior of the chamber. He snaps his wings a second time, flying through the exit with wild abandon, tilting at reckless, unpracticed angles as he builds incredible speed. When he emerges, shrieks of horror and dismay grow in volume. Moments later, as he passes out of view, you hear an explosion of splintered wood, upheaved water, and incredible devastation on the southwestern corner of the island. The shadow has been released. But alas, it was only fair.
Leave it to
Oh,
me.
what's here now? What's this? Some luminous Adra dust. Nice. Let's get that for us. I know, it's kind of an easy solution, but yeah, we wanted to free this majestic being. That was really betrayed. We felt it in his soul. Betrayed by a petty organization that he wanted to help. Niwana, I've had to pay for this, but something Something needed to be done. So, let the dragons go free, my friends. Have a great time until next time, and happy gaming. We'll see what the Queen will say to what we did here. Have a great time until then, and happy gaming. This is Immanuel Khan, signing out. See you soon, and happy gaming.